I'm Paul Kelly. I'm the director of Breaking Ground, which is the community-led housing hub for the Liverpool City region. And I'm also on the board of the National Community Land Trust Network. Breaking Ground has been established with funding from Power to Change as one of a whole series of national network hubs to support the development of community-led housing schemes in regions. And my role is to both share information about all the different types of community-led housing models there are out there, and to then work very closely with individual groups and provide them the support to develop their projects from end to end. So a group might start with an idea, want to explore what that might look like, and we can provide expert support to get a project from inception right through to completion. What's quite exciting right now is that government and local authorities are generally very supportive of this, so there's quite significant funding available for groups to get their projects moving if they're interested and if they have the right support. So it's something we urge. We're working with about 35 groups in the Liverpool City region at the moment, from very small groups to some big groups, and we believe with the right support, currently the climate is very healthy for these sort of initiatives. I was also, until December 2020, just gone, the Company Secretary of Homebaked Community Land Trust, which we are standing in front of. The area of Anfield was subject to a major regeneration initiative from about 2005 to 2010. Unfortunately, the programme in the Liverpool area, particularly an area like Anfield, became very controversial. So there was huge amounts of demolition planned for old Victorian terrace houses. And the project I was involved with worked with an artist from Holland called Jana van Hesvik, and we brought Jana over to Anfield to work from about 2009. And really, the whole project was about provoking people into being involved in the future of their neighbourhoods. And from that project emerged Homebaked Community Land Trust. It started with a group of people coming together to look at what could the future of the neighbourhood look like. There were big sort of decisions being made by the council and the football club. We're right by Anfield Football Club. The plan for this terrace behind us was to demolish it probably and maybe put back some commercial units that might be a Tesco Express or something. A group of women in the community started to gravitate towards the bakery, and the women involved in the project, working with Jana particularly, decided that actually we could run this as a bakery and we want to own it. And at that point we decided in 2012 to set up a community land trust, and the community land trust nurtured the cooperative bakery. So two organisations have emerged. The bakery, in a very short period of time, has now become a very successful community business, and it's the tenant of the land trust. Homebaked Community Land Trust can keep the rents low because we are a community organisation owning the land. On paper, nobody would ever thought that bakery could be successful. A group of local women have made that an unbelievably successful business. Local people employed, that's who they employ here. People have gone on to open up their own shops in other parts of Liverpool. So it's a developmental project that's making best use of local skills. It's a fully in-profit organisation. It's got a huge profile for the pies that they make. Homebaked then also developed the flat above the bakery, so that is now let as a 4-bedroom shared flat, very high spec, very funky flat. And the plan is to hopefully get on site this year with developing the rest of these derelict properties attached to the bakery. They are going to be reconfigured into 8 new residential homes and 3 more community business spaces for local people to take over to run and develop their ideas for community businesses. We want local authorities to adopt community-led housing policies as part of their enabling strategies within local authorities for housing. So places like Bristol are now, this is part of their housing solution for Bristol. They support community-led housing projects to develop, and they support transfer of land for very low value because of the social impact that projects have. So we believe local authorities should enable projects like this by developing policies to support this to happen. People are now spending so much of their income just to keep a roof over their heads, and there has to be a different way of doing this. And often housing, and even some of the housing around that's been developed in Anfield, it's been driven by finance, not by affordability of what people, linked to what people are actually earning in the neighbourhood. Houses are one of the only commodities that people want to go up in price. We don't want our food to go up or things like that, but housing seems to be driven by profitability, and that's not the way to create neighbourhoods. The ambition of Homebaked Community Land Trust is to own the whole of the high street in Anfield in community ownership. People who currently own some of the shops in Anfield just open on a match day and make enough money to then keep it shut. Well, that doesn't sustain a neighbourhood and create a healthy place for people to live. You have got to be involved in the solutions for your neighbourhood. It can't be left to the council or to other big institutions. People have to get motivated and get active and get involved. I think Morecambe, like many places in the northwest, these were the jewels of England in decades previously, and you want to make sure that those assets are retained for the community, but also that local people, particularly local young people, feel a sense of pride in their neighbourhood and in their place, and that they're not places that need fixing from without. They're places that can be fixed from within, and people need to be given the opportunities to test out ideas like the bakery. What are young people, what are their ideas for sustaining Morecambe? If the Eden of the North comes off, what impact is that going to have? In Anfield, this is the most visited place in Liverpool, and all the money gets sucked out of it. So how can we exploit the context here of Anfield? Supporters of this football club, when they were coming to matches, would come to this bakery to buy their food because they knew it was a community venture. And it's the same with Eden of the North. If people are going to come there for that, how are local people going to benefit? How is that money going to stay within the community? And that's the key that these models enable to happen. And I think it's about connecting in. There's enough projects in the northwest so you could come and visit, or we could come and talk to you about what could be involved, but it's about you taking an active role in the future of your neighbourhoods. Then I think it's about being ambitious and realising you can do it. The other thing I think that's been very unique to Liverpool is that all these projects are also about social connections. So the first thing we did in the bakery was open up the space as a place for people to meet. It was falling down around us, but actually people just wanted somewhere to come and talk about the future of their neighbourhood. So the social connection was really important. And there's lots of advice out there to then help develop your project. So I would really urge people, take the leap and start talking.